video, this time it is a bit different to the others, because this time we're taking something that has happened and we're putting it somewhere where it hadn't happened. Bit different. Yeah, this one is how I would book The Fiend, but back at WrestleMania 30. So, what I'm doing is basically, back in 2014, I'm inserting The Fiend in there. Instead of him showing up when he did, he's showing up back in 2014. And this is how I do it. So we're going to start at WrestleMania 30 because I feel that that's a good spot to start. It's Cena versus Bray, and yeah, Cena wins when he probably shouldn't have. So it's sort of a catalyst moment, I think. So yeah, starting at Mania 30, I would have the match go exactly how it went. Keep that the same. Because, like I said, it's a catalyst moment. We keep it the same then. We're just going down a different route from where they went in real life. Post-Mania, so the night after onward, I'd have Bray disappear. Only Harper and Rowan show up, and they look a bit freaked out. Almost like something's going on. Interviewers try to interview him, have you seen Bray? Know where he is or whatever. They just brush past him. They go out to the ring. They have a squash match against some jobbers because, of course. Then, after the match, they brutalise them until John Cena comes out to make the save because it's John Cena. And John then gets on the mic and says that he's gotten rid of Bray Wyatt because if he hadn't, he would be here. So he's clearly gotten rid of him. And he's going to get rid of the two of them as well. He then challenges Rowan to a steel cage match at Extreme Rules so that it keeps Harper out. I believe at Extreme Rules 2014, Bray and Cena had a steel cage match. So we're keeping that the same. We're just going to change Bray for Rowan. The build to Extreme Rules, it's 2-on-1. But obviously, John Cena will rise above the hate and overcome the odds. At Extreme Rules, the steel cage match is in the middle of the card, just like the Bray match was. But John comes out and Rowan does not. Where's Rowan? Don't know. Harper comes out and he's a lot more freaked out than he was. And he says that he, being somebody else, not Harper himself, he took Rowan. And he also says that John, mate, yeah, you should stop going after Bray. Matter of fact, stop going after all of the Wyatt family. Because there's an evil side to Bray, which is more twisted and evil than he already is. So just leave that shit alone. He also says that John will not be able to rise above the hate that comes if Bray embraces the hate that he has. Cena says that Harper's just delaying the match and to send Rowan out, which Harper says that he's not coming because Bray has him. And at that point the lights go out and Rowan's mask is lying in the ring. Cena then attacks Harper and throws him around the cage and whatnot so we can get a little bit of cage action, and then he leaves. The next night, John Cena comes out and apologises for not giving the fans a match, because I'm sure they wanted to see a match. And he says that if what Harper says is true, which he doesn't believe it is, but if it's true, then Roman's gone too. He's got one more to take care of then. Harper comes out and says that, John, you don't want to do this. Bray's going to come for the both of us if you do. And if Bray gets me, then you can't stop him. He tells John that Bray has begun to embrace the hate, and that's why Rowan's no longer here. Cena says he'll continue to rise above hate, and he can handle anything Bray has to throw at him. He will take Harper out at Payback. Harper accepts, reluctantly, goes to attack John, hits him with an AA, blah blah blah. Payback rolls around, and once again Cena comes out for his match. Harper doesn't. Cena gets on the mic and says that the entire Wyatt family is scared of Cena, and that's because he always rises above hate, and that's exactly what the Wyatt family is, hate. At this point, the lights go out, and on the Tron we see Harper and Rowan lying in a ritualistic symbol. Bray shows up and says that what Harper was saying is true. The only way that Bray knows he can beat John is by embracing the hate. That same hate that John refused to embrace a few years ago. Now, Kane was trying to help John, because who knows more about hate than a literal demon like Kane? Bray then reads an incantation while standing at the top of the symbol, and the candles go out as Bray falls down. A mysterious light appears, and we see the Wyatt family all lying sort of on the symbol. Must be a bit of a triangle sort of thing. And after that we see an apparition appear. It's the Fiend, just, you can see through. And he enters Bray's body. Cena, in the ring, is a bit creeped and decides, I'm out. Cena comes out on Raw, says he has no idea what the hell that was last night, but he's interrupted by Kane. He says that he was trying to help Cena a few years ago, but now the time has passed for Cena, and everybody is screwed. Nobody can help Cena now, or anyone else. Cena will now see that embracing the hate is a lot more powerful and easier than rising above it. Cena then attacks Kane. They have a match in the main event. Kane loses, the lights go out, and all that is left in the middle of the ring is Kane's mask. On the Tron, Bray is standing there, and he says that he, in reference to the Fiend, uses souls to get stronger. He already has the souls of Harper and Rowan, who at this point appear behind him. He also says that he has Bray's soul now, and now he has Kane's. He says that Kane wasn't meant to be a part of this, but he has inserted himself, so now he has dealt with Kane himself. He says that when he is ready, he will deal with Cena. Then he says that, John, I think you should run, blows out the candle, like he does. That's how the show ends. Over the next few weeks, we see that the Wyatt family are back. We have Harper and Rowan. They beat the Usos for the tag titles. Bray has a match with Kane, absolutely destroys him. Cena comes out, challenges the Wyatt family to a 6-man tag team match at Money in the Bank. In real life, this is where we get the tag title match between the Usos and the Wyatts, which the Usos win, but in this we are having the Wyatts win them a couple of weeks early so that we can do something at Money in the Bank. Also at Money in the Bank in 2014, Cena and Bray are both part of the ladder match for the vacant world title. We're going to take them out of it. There was 8 people in that match. Randy was in it, so he can win, because if you can't have John, you can have Randy. Also, the Usos match in the real show took place first, so we're just going to make the 6-man tag take place first. But But instead of actually making the six-man take place, it doesn't actually happen. Because the good guys come out first, and while they're waiting, the Whites come out and just destroy them all. Even putting Cena through the announcers table, like Bray does that with ease. And at that point, the match is called off. There is not going to be a match to start the show. There was just a massive, I won't even say brawl, because they didn't get any offense in. The Whites just destroyed them. But yeah, so then the next night on Raw, Cena comes out and says that there's something different with the Wyatt family, but he can overcome them because he rises above hate. And so he challenges Bray to a match at Battleground and says that because Bray put him through the announcers table, it's going to be a tables match. Bray shows up on the Tron, says that he accepts, and starts laughing hysterically before telling Cena to run, blowing out his lantern thing, blah blah blah. Over the next few weeks, Bray just plays mind games with Cena, making the lights go out, appearing on the Tron, doing, creepy, spooky shit, because that's what Bray does back then. At Battleground, Cena beats Bray by hitting him with an AA through the announcers table. Bray immediately no-sells it and gets back up. The lights go out. When they come back on, he's gone. But on the Tron, it just says, he's coming. Now, I know that there's been this big change and we're trying to portray Bray as inhuman. So having him lose a match so early on could possibly not be great for him. I think that most people would sort of go, well, he should have won that. But I feel that because it's a tables match, it is fine because it's just a tables. He didn't actually pin him or make him submit, so I think that's fine. And Bray did put Cena through to the announcer table, so let's just have that happen again. But the other way around, because WWE likes to do that. So the next night on Raw, Cena says that he doesn't know what's going on with Bray, but hopefully after winning that match he can put all this shit behind him, and at SummerSlam he can take back the WWE title. Because obviously he was meant to be in that match, but he wasn't. Now, there is an issue in that Cena versus Brock at SummerSlam, which I'm sure they don't want to give up on that match, but also Randy versus Brock as well, that's fine. I mean, if you don't want to put the belt on Randy, you can put it on anybody else that was in that match, just to lose it at Brock at SummerSlam. But doesn't matter. So, yeah, he says that he wants the title back at SummerSlam. However, Bray appears on the Tron, says that at SummerSlam he will arrive and he will show Cena what true hate is and that it cannot be risen against. Cena says that all hate can be overcome, and at SummerSlam he will prove it. So the match is on The Fiend versus John Cena. On the way to SummerSlam, we just see more cryptic shit about The Fiend, because, of course, we can't have The Fiend appear yet. So at SummerSlam, we do exactly like what happened in real life, except we're just swapping Finn Balor for John Cena. So, yeah, that's how I debut The Fiend. He absolutely destroys John Cena. He doesn't get any offense in. And just, I would see this as then becoming a sort of storyline where Cena, having his beliefs destroyed like that, then doubts himself and it costs him matches all the time because he doesn't believe in himself anymore. Right, so moving on to Bray, because Cena doesn't really factor into the rest of this because we've now brought in The Fiend. So post SummerSlam, I would just give Bray feuds, not the Fiend. All the Wyatts win. You know, the Wyatt family just wins. They don't lose for a while. The Fiend rarely shows up at all because he doesn't need to. The next time we see the Fiend, actually, is at WrestleMania 31 against The Undertaker. Because that's another match that that Bray Wyatt shouldn't have lost, I reckon. Like, sure, The Undertaker just lost his streak, but that's even more reason for Bray to win. So I think if you have it be the Fiend, who just destroys The Undertaker, it would work better. And The Undertaker, by this point, is now just going to be wrestling at WrestleMania almost exclusively anyway. So having Bray, or the Fiend, destroy him here, that could be a reason behind that. And, I mean, you could give Bray the title at any point. I would not give it to the Fiend. Do not have the Fiend win. Like, when the Fiend shows up, if Bray's the champion and the Fiend shows up, he does not have the belt. He does not care about that. He's just the Fiend. You know, so if Bray... When Bray comes out, Bray's got the belt. Bray does everything. The Fiend does not. And, I mean... If he wants to, you could have the Fiend destroy Brock. You know, Brock probably won't take a liking to that. But if you say, like, if you could talk Brock into being destroyed by the Fiend, that would be cool. You could do that at SummerSlam. You know, and I think that, I mean, also with destroying Brock, it makes the Fiend look that much better too, because it's Brock. But yeah, after that, I would have Bray already have the belt if you're going to do that. I think you can, because the biggest thing about Bray winning the belt as the Fiend was that it didn't make any sense for the Fiend to have the belt. So I think this has fixed that because the Fiend doesn't have the belt. So with Bray having the belt, I think he goes into the Rumble match at number 1 and defends that belt. Funnily enough, this is now the 2016 Royal Rumble, which is the Royal Rumble that Roman Reigns went in at number 1 and defended the belt. However, I'd have Bray win, obviously. And then at WrestleMania, you can have Bray versus Cena again. You could have Cena pick up the belt if you wanted to. But, like, you know, if you really wanted to, it's been, what? You know, it's been a while since Cena lost to the Fiend. So it could be a real big sort of culmination to the story where Cena now beats Bray for the belt. And also it's Bray, it's not the Fiend, so that's fine too. But, I mean, at this point, Mania 32, we're really pushing Roman. So if you wanted to have Roman win, you could have Roman win. I think that he's not being pushed as hard as he would be otherwise. Like, in real life, he does push really hard at this point. I think that you push him Bray instead, so Roman sort of building himself up would lead to people liking him more. And him taking the belt here could be a big crowning moment. He's beaten Bray Wyatt. You could then have the Fiend destroy him, you know, shortly later on. Or you could not. It's up to you. But, yeah, I think that if I was to do it, Roman probably beats Bray for the belt here. Another thing that I feel that this booking video has done is maybe given some closure to the Embrace the Hate story between Cena and Kane. Simply because, I mean, it didn't really have much of a story. Kane just sort of went, Embrace the Hate. Cena went, no. Kane went, alright, I'll fight you then. And Cena won. And Cena went, I'm better than the hate. This sort of, you know, puts it sort of brings it back and adds to it and sort of gives it a little bit of closure in that Bray embraced the hate and won. It's sort of the opposite of the story you would expect, which I think would be really fun to do. Because if you're expecting one story and you get you get an opposite ending to that story, it's one of those big sort of hang on, holy shit moments. So yeah, and yeah, I think that also with doing this, you could have the Fiend be around forever. I think Bray will always feel like a big star at this point because he has been put on such a pedestal. Like, he won the Rumble from number 1, you know, to begin with. Like, he's up there, you know, that doesn't happen very often. So I think that you could do that. I think that the Fiend can just show up whenever you need a real big match, you know. Especially if you sort of go back and you go, right, people who have beaten Bray, and, you know, down the line you do the Fiend instead. It's sort of a way to always keep Bray looking good even when he's lost. Don't have him lose to everybody. We don't want to see Epico versus the Fiend. But, yeah, I think that that's it for this booking video. So, yeah, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell, follow the Facebook, Twitter and Twitch. Links to those are in the description. Let me know what you thought in the comments section. And other than that, thanks for watching. Goodbye and good night.